Hey, Harp, to me, the best home field advantage in all of college football is Jordan-Hare. You've played there before. Auburn loses going away to New Mexico State last week. Head scratcher there. But now they're 14.5-point underdogs to Alabama, and they can ruin Alabama's season. Do you fully expect Auburn to play their best football tomorrow?
I would anticipate that. It's kind of like, look, as an Alabama guy, I'm naturally so nervous about this, especially after they lost to New Mexico State, because now they're not riding high. They're not over. It's like, no, they got to scratch at the bottom of the barrel. They got to do something desperate. They're going to come in with, hey, their backs against the wall. And this is kind of exactly what Auburn, when they're the most dangerous as far as this Iron Bowl is considered. Every single time, nobody's going to give Auburn a chance. It's not supposed to be close. It's at Jordan-Hare, and you already said about how the home field advantage is there. It's just never that easy. Last time I can remember Mac Jones throwing a ball off of Najee Harris's back for a pick six. Then Smoke Monday picks him off again. It's just, the kick six, all these other examples, even my senior year when we were supposed to beat Auburn and we gave up like 12 sacks of Brody Coral. So it's like, you just never know how this thing's going to happen and how it unfolds. Alabama on paper should win going away with it just because of where Alabama is as a team right now. They are really firing on all cylinders the last few weeks. They have improved, I would say they've improved from start to finish, from week 2 or 3 on to where we are right now, probably more than any other team in the country. Outside of Georgia, who continues to just fire on all cylinders. Michigan, we'll see as they play better. As the competition has ratcheted up, we're going to see. But it's really interesting just because it is the Iron Bowl. And like you said, nobody's going to give Auburn a chance. But this is actually when they're the most dangerous.
I would tell you that of all the things I think Auburn does well is rush the passer. So you tell me, is that still the thing that concerns you most about Alabama's pass protection? Or do you feel like that offensive line has improved from week 3 to now like you were talking about?
It's so crazy because, I saw that crazy stat. It was like, how many sacks they'd given up the first 6 or 7 games. And then the last 3 games, they've given up 3 sacks. And it maybe blame the competition, but Kentucky's decent. And the team before they played Kentucky was supposed to be decent. So it was, I think they played LSU before that.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah.
And so you got Harold Perkins, and everybody said it was going to be this. And you look up, and actually Alabama's handling all these things. Jalen Milroe's getting rid of the football a lot better. It's just – this Alabama offense has continued to evolve. This quarterback has evolved. And this Alabama team looks better than that. I do like Auburn's front. But, man, they look so bad and out of place versus New Mexico State last week. Just being a little bit nosy here and there, getting out of their gaps, and then next they're giving up explosive plays. They cannot play like that. I do know that and understand that. So it's going to be really interesting how they bounce back. I think this is going to be a lot to look at where Auburn, how do they look at themselves in the mirror? Alabama's coming in and saying, hey, we got to do what we got to do. They got bigger plans than Auburn. So Auburn's just another team that's in the way. And we understand it is Auburn. They're excited about that. But I'm more like, okay, how's Auburn going to address this game? How's Auburn going to look themselves after a bad performance last week? Whether they're a better team or not, it was still a bad performance. The offense took a whole day off. So how did they bounce back? And I think it's going to be about Auburn more than it's going to have to be about how does Alabama defend themselves versus Auburn. I think it's going to be about how does Auburn get themselves ready to go and go win a game.
Roman Harper presented by MyBookie.ag. Alabama about a 13.5-point favorite in this game against Auburn at MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag, code next round for that 50% sign-on match up to $1,000 when you use code next round at MyBookie.ag. The area of the field you used to play in the secondary, a lot of teams just don't throw at Kool-Aid McKinstry when they play Alabama. But how comfortable are you throwing at Terrion Arnold? He's got a lot more passes his way, and he has made you have to think twice now.
So I love Terrion Arnold as a player, as a person. He's got great energy, great smile, great attitude, and he's freakishly athletic as well. He's actually more athletic than Kool-Aid. But it's both of those corners are great, man. I think Alabama's going to have – you look at that secondary like right now as they stand, Kool-Aid's probably a first or second round guy. Terrion's a first round guy. Malachi Moore, when healthy, is probably a late first, second round guy, depending on what the needs are. And Caleb Downs is a future first round guy if he stays healthy. So I just named all 4 high draft pick guys in one secondary. So that kind of lets you know the depth in which they have. And then when they bring in the other corner, number 9, Amos, that's probably their best coverage unit out of all of them. When you put Malachi Moore back at safety with Caleb Downs and Terrion Arnold at the nickel, Kool-Aid on one side, Amos on the other. I mean, very viable defensive secondary with a lot of NFL caliber talent. And that right there alone is going to allow you to do so many other things up front. And then when that allows them to have more pressure because the coverage responsibilities are more locked in. So I think the secondary of Alabama is the best that I've seen out of that group in a long time. And not only that, but that is why, in my opinion, this defense has improved so much is because of the utility of the ability of the secondary to cover so many guys and do so much better in space is allowing everybody else to play so much better.